This is gonna be a rough show. This is not gonna be good.
Yeah, it's
Shut the
you're gonna
fuck up. Yeah,
you just have like a rough life, man. And it's a life that you chose. Like look at all these other schools you could have gone to, you know? And this is the one where you're like, "Hey, man, I'm really cementing my flag on this fake animal first and foremost.
Don't.
Not a real animal. Uh you could have gone, to Pitt and just lived in depression and not ever thought about it. You could have gone to Iowa, waved at kids, and felt good about your life.
I want to I want to fight back, but I just don't know if I
Go
have
to
it in me.
Rutgers and have a winning record.
Okay,
at
let's
some point.
just hold on for a second. What's up, guys? Welcome back to this dumbass show, all-purpose garbage. College football show for idiots.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome, idiot number 2.
Wow, third time's the charm. Are we recording?
We are now. Yeah.
Is your Zoom okay? Your Zoom's working. All right.
Yeah.
Check, baby.
As you can tell, I forgot to mention it the first fucking time we tried to record it, but I'm dressed in black today.
I'm dressed in black and gold.
Nah, fuck off. Deke, let's just get this over with. I'm just gonna I don't deserve the Pit Vipers this week. So
I like that this is the third time or the second time you've had to say that.
I know, right? But it's fine. I mean, it's all real. It's all real emotion.
It's really funny.
Dude, I'm fucking broken. This fucking team they do it to me every fucking year. Whether it's 2019 Minnesota, 2017 Ohio State, fucking 2005 Michigan. They do it to me fucking every year. Get my hopes up through at least halfway through the season. And they rip my heart out and stomp on it and make me lie in the fetal position on my living room floor. It's not fucking fair. I'm an idiot. I keep going back to the girl that keeps cheating on me because she makes me feel good and lets me have sex with her. I'm so sick of rooting for a what-if team every fucking year. Football is fucking dumb, dude. I want to say that I'm not going to watch, but I will.
Joke definitely landed better the third or the second or the fourth, whatever time it is.
Yeah,
now.
I know. Yeah, I'm sad, dude.
It doesn't bring me joy to see you this way in your defense. I know many people would assume it does. I'm not like an Iowa fan. I just rode them all season and they happen to play Penn State more than anything. It doesn't really, get me up in the morning to see you this miserable. But I do hate Penn State. So there's a direct correlation between me feeling sorry for you and happiness that I feel inside myself.
Yeah. I know this is all a repeat because we tried to fucking record, and it's just an ode to how
it's so much better the third time.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Practice makes perfect, At
least you didn't cry this time like a little bitch.
I didn't cry last time. People don't know
keep
that.
telling the people that.
People don't know that, but
man.
Yeah, we already fucking talked about it, but yeah, Sean Clifford's out here posting cryptic fucking Instagram posts, and if you
super cryptic,
if you could read it out loud for the people, because this is just I don't know, I just don't know what this means, and frankly, he never comes out and says what the injury is.
No. So there's no true record about what Sean Clifford's injury is. Posted a picture, which I didn't bring this up the first time. It's just of himself looking off to his right.
A weird move. That's why I'm thinking
super weird.
it's part of me thinks that it means he's coming back. But like,
He also blocked off comments for this post.
Yeah.
So you can't comment. Sean Cliff 14, I should say. Got a journalism. I'm not Shefty. In life, moments will come and go. Trials will come and go. It's the memories with the people around you that live forever. Time to create more memories. I think he's either A, saying, guys, let's get back into it. We're fine. We're B,
he's done.
He's done for the year, and he's going to come back next year on some shit.
He can't.
Is he done? Is this his last year?
He's done.
Wow.
Well, that's you hear the first part of that, and you're like, all right, he's done. But then the making more memories thing makes you think, maybe there's a chance. People are saying it's a rib injury. People are saying, I don't even know. That's the thing. You can't even tell. He was holding his back.
Yes.
Going in the locker room. So I just don't know. It fucking bugs me.
It's weird.
It fucking bugs me that last year our fucking backup quarterback, Will Levis, they didn't fucking let him throw, and then they let him go to fucking Kentucky, who's undefeated right now. And the current backup, and then the fucking third or fourth string guy, the other guy we had, transferred. So last year I was preaching just, hey, it's take one time. And he comes into that game, and he one drive where I was like, okay, there's hope. Hurry up offense. He fucking moved down the field very, very efficiently. And outside of that, he didn't do anything. It almost looked like they closed the playbook and said, we can't trust this kid at all.
Yeah, they basically just shut everything down. They're like, we're done now. Like, we're gonna take our books and go home.
And that's the thing. You can't fucking do that. I know our defense was so fucking good that game. And I know that Iowa's offense isn't exactly elite, but our defense was stepping up big time. Tons of drives that were they had 3 points off of turnovers. They were the number one team in the country scoring off turnovers, 3 points, and it was just off that first drive. We didn't give up. Defense stepped up, but when the defense is on the field the entire game, what are you gonna do?
It's just not what you could do there. And the fact that Levis is at Kentucky, who you continue to love, does spark joy in my heart.
Yeah, it's just, my God. It just, didn't they fucking prepare him at all?
No. How dare you ask that?
God damn it. Football is fucking stupid. Being a fan is stupid. From now on, I think I might just be a fair weather fan. Because this is shitty. This is
welcome
awful.
To the boat. You've already dipped your toes in that with the Chanticleers, though.
That is true, but they're kind of fucking cool.
They're sick. Oh, they're icy.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, I don't know. I just want it to get better. I want to feel happiness again. And what sucks? What actually sucks? This is what actually sucks. We're still in it right now. As much as that sounds like a good thing. It sounds like a good thing.
Hold on.
We are in it. If we were to win out, we would be in it. If we were to somehow beat Ohio State on the road, we were to somehow beat Michigan and Michigan State and just run the table, we would be in it. We would be in the playoff. However, I know for a fact that that's not going to fucking happen. And the fact
you
that
are
they're
at
leading
7
me on
right now.
They are stringing me along.
7 is a good place to be.
Yeah, and we didn't drop that far.
No. Michigan's 8, and they're undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to that. Sorry. But there's hope.
I mean, there's hope, but that's almost worse.
Yes. Oh, it's way worse. I would have much rather you guys fell out of the top 25 and you could just be unhappy.
Or, yeah, just content with a win over Illinois. You know?
Yep.
I don't know. And just the fucking injuries this weekend killed us. B.J. Mustipher going down killed us.
Just a 3-point game.
Yeah. Jahan Dotson was... The thing is, he was getting open. Taquan just wasn't fucking seeing him.
No, yeah.
And, the O-line, what the fuck was that? That was, they had, 8 false starts? What the fuck was that? Oh, my... what happened? They were actually good for once all year until that fucking game, and then they just shit the bed. God damn it, dude.
So just to let you know, nothing has been decided or determined, Franklin said, regarding the status of Clifford ahead of next game in 2 weekends. He's doing everything he possibly can to get back as soon as he possibly can and go from there. What he's dealing with is not uncommon with the quarterback position. What the hell does that mean?
I mean, part of me thinks that they are not saying a fucking word until Ohio State week.
Yeah,
that's what it
probably.
is. Because clearly, Taekwon needs more reps. So Illinois is a perfect opportunity to give that guy reps. Especially give him 2 weeks of prep. Like, I think that guy could do okay, frankly. Yeah. He was just thrown into a shitty situation. And I think there's a chance that Clifford just comes back Ohio State week and just Franklin leaves it up in the air just so Ohio State has to game plan for both.
Yeah, I mean that's best case scenario for Penn State fans right now.
Best case scenario, yeah. Or it's just gone. And I hate that my hopes are hinging on Sean fucking Clifford. That is the worst feeling.
I don't like it.
But he was dude. He was. I don't want to say he was making it look easy because that Iowa defense was still good, but he was moving the ball pretty effectively. Like he was looking good.
Yeah, he looked really good. I'm upset he went down because that was a really good game.
Yeah. And again, like what ifs don't fucking mean anything, but like I truly believe that Iowa would have made a run back, but at the very least he could have fucking drove the team down the field.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the game. We had so many fucking opportunities and just nothing. Also, that Iowa punter, fuck that guy for being so fucking good. Like,
dude, drop that shit. Charlie Jones dropped that shit. Or not Charlie Jones, the punter. Torrey Taylor. Yeah, he had 9 punts for 398 yards. His average was 44.2 yards on the punt.
Fucking piss missiles. He was just like chipping it, like backspin and all, like on the fucking 2 every time.
Pitch and wedge.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, here's to you. Here's to me. I don't know. Fuck my life.
You're doing great, sweetheart.
Jesus Christ. Deke, are you drinking tonight? Because I sure am.
I'm not.
That's a shame.
I'm not. I am trying to consume less alcohol. But if I was, which I'll be drinking tomorrow, I would clearly be drinking the best goddamn beer on the planet, which is Coors. Shout out to our sponsor, Coors PGH. I love you guys. A lot of cool content coming down the pipeline with Coors obviously involved.
Yep. Shout out Coors. Banquet might actually just be my new beer. I'm not going to lie.
It's just a good-ass beer, man.
Like, yeah. All right. Let's get on with it, I guess. I almost just don't want to. Let's shut the show down. I don't want to do it anymore.
Well, here's a little fun. Bama went down. We can even skip number 1 there.
Cool.
Let's go straight to Bama.
Cool. I'm good with
I love that Bama lost.
Dude, it feels like...
It's like a boat outside my...
It feels like 2007 all over again, man. And I don't think that Georgia's going to lose.
Really?
But if there is a year for that to happen, it's this fucking year. 'Cause I can guarantee you that Iowa's going to slip up at some point because I think if anything, Penn State did show that defense is not like
unbeatable.
Yeah, exactly. And so Georgia has a tough game this weekend against Kentucky. There's a lot of shit that can still happen, and I think especially like, dude, A&M is not exactly. They're like an average team.
They're always dangerous, is their thing. They always have a pot. Yeah, but A&M, the name, I don't know what it is. Like, you're right, they're shit this year. And for Alabama to lose that game, for that defense to let 41 points go up against A&M is embarrassing. Yeah. There's just something about A&M that they're always kind of there, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, and I don't know. It feels like anything can happen. Also, where the fuck did Zach Calzada come from? Against Arkansas, he looked lost out there. He looked like a 10th grader. But dude, he was throwing ropes.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was? I mean, I love it. Like, this is.
I love Alabama going down.
This is like one of the best things about college football shit happens like this. It's just Bama normally wins games like this. I think if anything, Bama for the most part loses games. If they lose games, it's to teams that are actually pretty fucking good. For the most part. A&M just isn't, and that's what's weird. Like, I don't know. I think Texas not exposed them, but it showed that Bama, they're not, like we were saying, they're not like they're beatable, you know. But like for them to go, but they took care of business. But for them to go out and lose to A&M, like, it was a completely different A&M team. I don't know what it was.
Shout out to the kicker who has giant balls for hitting that.
Oh yeah,
massive balls for hitting that.
No, yeah. Did you see the clip of his family?
His family. Oh, so dope.
That was awesome.
Also, his sister, sup. But yeah, like such a cool clip for their whole
girlfriend?
family. Whoever, girlfriend, my guy, sister, sup.
Yeah,
that's how I'll wear that one.
Okay, yeah, because she was calling him babe. So in my mind, that's girlfriend. But
they could be from like I don't know, Alabama.
Oh. Shots. But yeah, it's a crazy year, and I think that game just goes to show you. Oklahoma, I'm going to say now, I don't know if Oklahoma are frauds. You might be right.
Dude.
I think Spencer Rattler might be frauds. Because Caleb Williams, dude, what the fuck?
Did you hear what news was broke today?
No, what?
So Oklahoma canceled their media. Media is not allowed to talk to the team because the Oklahoma newspaper wrote an article about how Spencer Rattler fell on the depth chart due to the number of snaps Caleb got in practice. He outsnapped Spencer Rattler and broke that there was a QB battle. So then Lincoln Riley came. Is it Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma? Yeah. He came out and said that they're not allowed to, like, he's shutting down all media for the team.
Wow.
Literally, do you know how they got this news story? Kids on a balcony in an apartment complex had binoculars.
Holy shit.
It's real. Spencer Rattler's NIL deal came, like the people that he's working with for his NIL is an automobile company. And they came out and said something because it was like he's having a rough time. The guy was like, we didn't sign for Spencer for instant gratification ROI. He's like, we signed with Spencer because he's a great kid with a great platform. We hope he does well. The fact that this is the first real situation where NIL is like, yo, you guys definitely got the wrong sponsorship here because Rattler did not take the majority of team or first team snaps in practice.
I didn't even see that. That's
Dude,
crazy.
Awesome. They canceled all media because a kid with binoculars wrote a story.
Yeah. Well,
I love it.
That's turmoil right there. That's like, holy shit.
And they won.
Yeah.
And this is still happening. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. No.
I tweeted out they might be the biggest frauds ever for Oklahoma. Hear me out. They are now because they should just bench Spencer Rattler, and they don't want to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I know that's a thing, that the guy has a fucking cannon, but he hasn't fucking done anything all year.
No, he hasn't done jack shit.
The first time that he gets benched, and then Caleb Williams comes in and fucking brings him back. Like, I thought Texas had that in the bag. They were up 2
did
scores.
Too.
Like,
I 100% thought it was over. And he came out, 211 yards, 2 tutties, and Rattler just looked like a pile of freaking garbage, man.
Oh my God. Yeah. That was a great game. That was an incredible game. It's a classic Big 12 game. I'm kicking myself for not taking the over on that one. But yet, I mean, this was a great weekend in college football. I'll just leave it at that, because between the Red River shootout and Ole Miss Arkansas, that was a fucking hell of a game. Ole Miss Arkansas was fucking awesome. And I mean, I think we both picked this one right. I didn't think that Arkansas had that firepower, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, dude. Matt Corral, I think he's for real.
I do too. I think he's going to be the guy that's thrusted up all types of boards this season.
Yeah, it was definitely a statement win for Lane Kiffin too. Beating a pretty good Arkansas team. I feel bad.
Which he needed coming off the heels of the popcorn game.
Yeah. No, he needed it. For sure he needed it. And yeah, dude, Arkansas though, who's number 16? Traylon Cook? What's his name out of it? Traylon Burks. That guy is a fucking Burks? Yeah, that guy's a fucking animal. And I don't know, dude. That game was fucking awesome. 1 second on the clock, and they score a touchdown. I guess I don't know if they missed a field goal or I kind of forget, but missed a field goal or went for two, and they ended up not getting it. But they were there with 1 second left, scoring a touchdown on fourth and goal. So what a fucking game. And then I told y'all last week, watch out for Nebraska. They're the best 3-4 team probably in a long time. Because they were ready to play, dude. Scott Frost.
Yeah, I was surprised by this one because, we shit on Scott Frost early in the show. I did. Early in the show, just not a big fan of his. He came out against Michigan, and it was at least a respectable game. That was what you want. Like, if you can't beat Michigan, you want to be respected. That was a respectable win.
Yeah.
Or loss, excuse me.
It was a very close game if you look at the stats, too.
Yeah.
459 yards total offense for Michigan, 431 yards for Nebraska of total offense. Very even game. And, I mean, dude, good teams win, but great teams cover. Nebraska, still like one of the best teams against the spread in the country. So, go over to the rankings real quick. Obviously,
yes,
Iowa moves up. Our boys over in Cincy, they're
looking good, man.
They're set up.
They just need to win out. It's not. I don't think it's that crazy of a thing. I'm gonna pull their schedule up, but
I think, like I said, I think they got SMU that's coming down the pipeline, and they got UCF, which UCF's 3-2, but definitely not a pushover game.
The UCF has a respectable team every year. It feels like, but yeah, UCF, then Navy, Tulane, Tulsa, South Florida, then SMU, and then East Carolina. They really don't have. I mean, SMU obviously a very talented team, 23rd in the country currently, but Cincinnati has a real, honest to God path. It's a paved road with some bumps. Like it's no longer a dirt road. It's not, obstacles. This is a paved road to the playoffs.
And that's the thing. Everything that they've needed to happen has happened so far.
Alabama's lost. Penn State's lost. Oregon's lost. Ohio State's lost. Like they literally just need to stay the course.
Yep, they need to stay the course. Like I said, I think Iowa will slip up, whether it's in the Big Ten championship game or before that. They don't play anyone that great until the Big Ten championship. But, and again, who knows who's going to come out of the East? But I would watch out for Iowa getting upset too, because literally anything can happen right now at this point.
Well, I mean, they go up against Purdue, then they got Wisco, Northwestern, Minnesota, Illinois, and they do finish the season against Nebraska.
Yep. Frisky team, 3-4. I don't think that actually shows how good that team is. 3-4 is not representative. They started off rough, and then they also had to play Oklahoma. So and obviously losing to a pretty tough Michigan team. I don't know. 3-4 is not. I don't think that shows how good that team is.
Other side of the coin, though, you are what your record is.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. There we go, Coach. What else? What else I have written down? BYU,
Wake Forest, by the way, too.
Yeah, Wake Forest too.
Big Sam guy.
Oklahoma State moved up.
BYU at 19 there, sitting pretty.
Well, they just lost.
Yeah, I wish they got kicked out.
They lost to Boise. Again, I was right on them with that one too, dude. The only game. Fucking Penn State.
The only game. Well, there's two games that you missed.
I did miss on two. Yeah, but Texas had that.
That's how
I
caught up.
Yeah.
Fair.
Dude, you went 6-0 this week.
I did. It was a big week.
It was a huge week.
I know what I'm talking about sometimes by accident.
Yeah, Texas did not drop out, which I'm not really that surprised about because, I mean, they went down to the wire. So
yeah, I was kind of surprised that they fell to 25, I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they played well enough that they deserve to still be ranked, which is like a tough thing. But
Yep. Kentucky also just keeps moving up, and they beat LSU, which is never an easy thing to do, no matter how bad LSU might be. But
yeah, you got to put respect on LSU, even if they're having a rough year. But Kentucky doesn't have a very. I mean, granted, this week they're going up against Georgia, but after that they have a pretty easy schedule.
Yep. Yeah. And
could you imagine if they beat Georgia this weekend?
We'll get to it, but I think that Kentucky. I think Georgia's being way way over favored this week.
Mm.
They're favored by 22.5.
Ooh.
I think Kentucky's good. Like, I think Kentucky's defense is really fucking good.
Agreed.
Not Georgia's defense, but
good.
I think they're pretty fucking good. They're kind of
Yeah.
legit. But yeah, and then Arkansas, obviously they lost, but I don't think they dropped even a spot. I think they were sitting at 17. They're still sitting at 17 because it was such a good game.
It's a weird movement, yeah.
So yeah, and that's the thing. Ole Miss won but didn't move up. They actually got bumped down one. So that was kind of interesting. But
Yeah.
again, I think it was just because it was a tie. It was basically a tie ball game. So, our Deke, what do you got on tap?
Yes, sir. So let's do a Heisman check-in, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about some of the names. Obviously, we talked about a ton of quarterbacks the first time around. So there's 4 names that I'm going to save to the end of this, just so you know, Smalls. And then 1 name that I'm going to skip right now that I told you will get your panties in a bunch. So coming in at plus 3,500 odds, Trayvon Henderson out of Ohio State, the running back. There are actually right now 3 running backs that have pretty high odds, Smalls. The other one is Bijan Robinson, I would believe, out of Texas. There's a Bijan. Sometimes you don't say the J, sometimes you do. Dijon Honey Mustard. Big fan of that. Comes in at plus 2,000. And then Kenneth Walker out of Michigan State comes in at plus 1,400. I don't ever bet on running backs to win the Heisman, but as we talked about, this is a really ugly year for the Heismans. Desmond Ridder comes in at plus 2,000. Again, like, there's a name on here that I would absolutely strap every piece of money in my life right now to. It is not Desmond Ridder, but if they win out and some other things happen, I could see Desmond Ridder pushing up the board a little bit, getting some better odds. So those odds right now are probably pretty good for him. CJ Stroud comes in at 800. And I don't hate it. I get it. Ohio State's actually been looking good, which I think is a credit to them. But the 2 top dogs right now are Bryce Young, and then the guy that I do think, when it's all said and done, could and will win is I do think it's Matt Corral. I think that what Lane Kiffin is doing at Ole Miss needs to be respected, thought about, and all those things. The name that I want to say that I believe is at a perfect spot right now is Kenny Pickett at 3,500, baby, 3,500 odds. Kenny Pickett's been one of the best quarterbacks in the nation this year, and it's more because of who they've played in the system at Pitt. I'm not saying that he is up there, but Kenny Pickett looks great. And I think they're the number 1 error offense in something passing yards or some crazy shitty stat that Pitt shouldn't be a part of. But there's 4 names I want to toss in. Plus 8,000 odds to win the Heisman. Malik Willis, Sam Howell, Spencer Rattler, Sean Clifford.
I get the Sean Clifford thing. He's definitely not going to win it. But he's played well enough in a year like this. There's a little asterisk. I get it. But
here's what I'll say: the fact that at the beginning of the year when we were tossing around odds, if I would have told you going into week 7, he would have the same Heisman odds as Spencer Rattler and Sam Howell, you would have thought Penn State's undefeated, number 1 in the world. Not even in the country, world.
Well, the fact that there's even a QB controversy at Oklahoma tells me that Spencer Rattler is not winning the Heisman. You don't.
Yeah, I would. I would take that. I would take the bet that he doesn't. Give me the field over Spencer Rattler. Just interesting though. I mean, Bryce Young coming in there at the plus 200. He is the current favorite. We talked about that a little bit though. It's one of those things where like he's the favorite this year just by doing the bare minimum of what he had to do.
Yeah, and he's been good.
He's
been very good.
Not like great.
He's not Heisman good though. Like you think about Heisman winners, you think Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Marcus Mariota, who all Kyler Murray, world beater years where they dominate pretty much every game except for one for the most part.
Cam Newton, like that was one of the best Heisman years I've ever seen. Just being able to watch him play football.
And so literally anything can happen. That Texas running back though, Bijan Robinson, Robinson. Which one? Henderson, yeah. Bijan Henderson, sorry. That guy's fucking good. That guy is, I think, no doubt the best running back in the country. Kenneth Walker, scary, obviously, but Bijan Henderson, so fucking good. And Yeah,
Oh no,
dude.
fuck! It's Trayvon Henderson, Bijan
I
Robinson.
thought it was. I
My
thought it was
my
B.
notes were upside down.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
I
it was
fucked
Bijan.
everything up.
No, it's fine.
Kenneth Walker though nailed that one.
Yep, there we go.
Easy name. I think he might be the third, to be honest with, or junior or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, dude, I think year, if any year would be the year for a running back to win it, it'd be this year. Because
Look at last year with Smith.
yep, and there's so much that can happen. College football as a whole right now, whether it's Heisman or just who the fuck's going to win it all, literally so up in the air right now. I know Georgia,
Agreed.
in my mind, and everyone's mind, far and away the best team in the nation. That's the only certain thing that we think right now. Everything else is up in the air, and I don't know, dude. Like Kenny Pickett. Let me circle back to Kenny Pickett though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that because he has been one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I don't have my panties in a bunch. He purely has just been good. He's been really good, and I don't mind it. I think if anything, it's showing that the Heisman is more wide open than ever because a fucking Pitt quarterback is one of the, I don't know about a front runner, but he's in the mix for a Heisman. That's crazy to me. And the last time that was even a possibility was probably like Tyler Boyd. He had a Heisman hype coming in that 1 year.
Yeah, I would say. Well, yeah, probably him. I don't know if Connor ever had
Connor,
Heisman
I think he might have had a little bit. Yeah.
small buzz.
Yeah.
I don't believe. Yeah, I would say probably Boyd.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy though, because I mean, Pitt quarterbacks have just simply not been great. Like they've been okay.
Nate Peterman was decent.
Yeah.
In college, he was terrible in the pros, but he was okay. Yeah. Other than that, they really never had anybody that was like world out greatest human ever.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. It would suck to have Bryce Young win it because he was basically the favorite coming in outside of Spencer Rattler.
Agreed. I think it's boring.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want it. I just don't want it to be Young, and not because he doesn't deserve it, because he probably has been the most consistent and best overall player.
Yeah. And it was just so you know, it was Pitt comes in as the top scoring offense. It was not air yards. They have 52.4 points per game so far, which is just one ahead of Coastal, and next team after that is Ohio State. Fun fact.
Mm-hmm. CJ Stroud.
Interesting to me.
I guess. I mean,
just feels high.
You got to think about who they've played too, though. They played Rutgers and Maryland and put up big numbers. I get it. And I don't think that Rutgers is a bad team. I think they beat up on a relatively decent team. Same thing with Maryland, but it's also Rutgers and Maryland. So you can't put too much stock in that. And, again, he's looked shaky. Players can come back, but I've never remembered a Heisman being shaky at the start of the year. They have been on 100% all season. So
yeah, which is tough for the Heisman because you have like one bad game. It's like, well, they're out of the Heisman running, and it's like, man. So starting off slow is the best thing for somebody that wants to win the Heisman compared to starting shit late. But we'll see.
That's true. All right, Michael Leach time.
He couldn't get me a shrunken head, so I got a T-shirt.
All right, so we're going with the Leach man himself, just because I think this quote is on point. The rankings are all out of whack. Anyone who thinks there are 30 teams better than Texas A&M are out of their mind. Let me ask you, do you agree with this, Deke? Because I certainly do. Maybe not necessarily about Texas A&M, but
so one, the rankings are out of whack for the two reasons that we just talked about, which is that there's teams that didn't move. Ole Miss sitting there, Kentucky still at 11, like certain things that are there. Do I think that there's 30 teams better than A&M right now? I don't. And the reason is because they beat Alabama. If they wouldn't have beat Alabama, I wouldn't give a shit about A&M. There's something there that's a little true. Like if Texas A&M and San Diego State played 5 times right now, I think Texas A&M would take a majority of the games, but that's just not how the rankings work, which is why they are out of whack. The rankings work because it's who did you play, who's in your conference, how many points did you put up on the shitty teams that you were supposed to beat. It's not could you beat this team right now, because then Alabama would probably be 3.
Yep. Well, yeah, and one thing that always annoys me with rankings, a.k.a. fucking Notre Dame, you have preseason hype that sticks with the team all year.
Yep.
So, like, even if a team doesn't show, now Clemson is the only team that I think has been the anomaly on this.
Yeah.
Their hype has not stuck, and it shouldn't. But I don't know. Like, it's just I don't love the rankings because the way that, and I get you have to have it, but you really, like, all the voters have those preconceived notions about all these teams, and that's how the rankings get made. So, I don't know. The Leech Man coming up strong like he always does. So, not an electric week for quotes. I just think this one kind of stuck.
No, I like it, and it is an actual Mike Leach quote. So the Mike Leach Award goes to Mike Leach, which is good. I will say, though, you brought them up, and I just wanted to bring it up really quick. Clemson, unranked for the first time that I can remember. Yep. Pile of garbage. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Not good. Just not a great team. I think they're a decent team. I think their talent will carry them to a 9-3 season.
I'll be interested for that Friday game against Syracuse, and then I am excited to see Pitt womp on them on the 23rd.
I think that game's going to be close.
For sure.
Don't get me wrong. I think Pitt is definitely. I'm shocked that Pitt is not ranked. They only got one AP vote in the top 25 this week.
I did not know they only got one vote. I knew they weren't ranked, but
that's what's dumb about the rankings. Is clearly a team that had. I think Western Michigan loss? That's what is fucking them up right now.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That was a very Pitt loss.
100%. Pitt does that every year where they have a game. It's like, man, we just even when we beat Clemson or Penn State or something, we go and then we get our asses kicked by some shit Bodunk team, Boston College ass looking dudes.
Yep. 100%. All right. Big games this week. Going to the
Yes,
gauntlet.
sir.
Obviously the biggest matchup of the week. On paper, it looks like a pretty slow week. I think a lot
Love
of
that
teams
we're 20
have
and
buys.
12, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Dude, it's not bad.
62 and a half is a really, really good. I mean, granted, we're picking heater games here, but I mean, that's a good record.
Oh, no, it's good. So Kentucky, Georgia, obviously best game this week. I do think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
Agreed.
Because Kentucky's defense is really fucking good. But Georgia's defense is electric. Georgia's defense, get this stat, they've only allowed 54% of all the teams they played. They've allowed 54% of all their opponents. Yards per play, rushing yards per play.
Oh wow!
So like a team's average coming into the game, they allow half of that.
That's crazy.
It is one of the best defenses statistically of all time, and you watch the game and you can see.
Yeah, they're just bigger humans.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm going Georgia here just because that defense is so good, and Kentucky's offense is good, and their defense is good. I think it's going to be closer than people think. And I'll get to it in my bets. I think Kentucky covers, but I'm going with Georgia here.
Yeah, when you told me the line there, I didn't look it up on what Barstool, but if it is set to 22.5 or whatever, I think Kentucky covers. But it's one of those things where I'm picking Georgia until Georgia isn't there anymore. Mm-hmm. So yeah, give me Georgia.
All right. This one's an interesting game. Going Oklahoma State, Texas. Oklahoma State very quietly is undefeated right now.
Yeah, I just had to Google that. Mm-hmm. I saw you pull up them, and I was like, I feel like I have not heard a lick about Oklahoma State, and they're undefeated.
Nothing. Oklahoma State's defense, for a Big 12 defense, they're pretty good. They're number 2 in the Big 12 as far as defense goes. They're also the 23rd best defense in the nation.
Jeez.
Considering they play in the Big 12, that's super fucking impressive.
Really impressive.
Yeah. Like, with teams that just try to fucking light up the scoreboard, they're doing pretty well. Again, I'll get to this in my bets this week, but the underdog in this game over the last 4 years has covered.
Wow.
Oklahoma State is coming in as a road underdog. I'm going Oklahoma State because that defense, dude.
Ooh.
Texas's defense fucking sucks.
Yeah,
they're so bad. And I think Oklahoma State is at least competent enough on defense to give Texas a run for their money. I'm going to go Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I think Oklahoma State, like you said, surprised us both. The fact that they're still one undefeated into there. But this is the one game I believe we differ on. If Texas hadn't come out and shown the world that Spencer Rattler was a fraud, and granted, Spencer Rattler showed the world Spencer Rattler was a fraud, but Texas looked dominant. Yes, I know they did let the game slip. They were up 2 scores in a 1-0, but I think that this is a game that they can. It's kind of like taking your anger out on the younger brother. Yeah. It's like, damn, the older brother, Oklahoma, beat me up. I'm going to go kick the dog shit out of Oklahoma State, the younger brother. And I think this is a big prove-it game. And you said it first about Texas not being built in a day. They're still Texas, but I think they're on the right track, and I think they're getting closer. And I think they'll finish the year one of the hotter teams in college football.
Okay. Yeah. I don't hate that take. I hate when Texas – well, let me put it this way. I like when Texas is hot because it makes college football interesting. But I also love when Texas comes in hot to a bowl game and ends up getting shit kicked.
So that'll most likely happen. Steve Sarkisian, I think he's building something there, and it looks good. I don't like Texas, hook 'em horns, Don, all that bullshit. But I do think that they're on the right track. It feels like a team that's like going to have momentum going to next year by the way they finish this year.
Yeah. Auburn, Arkansas. I'm going to leave it at this. Bo Nix fucking sucks on the road. He cannot win on the road.
You can stop it sucks. He had that one play.
Yeah.
So, hashtag Razorback, baby.
Razorback. Rays were not back
no.
This past week, but
the Rays are not back, but the Rays are back.
That is true. Rays lost the Sox, boy. I'm assuming you're going Arkansas here, right?
Yes, sir. Hashtag Razors back.
All right. NC State, Boston College. I put this on here because Boston
I'm
College.
interested why you put this on here.
So, well, like I said, it's on paper, it looks like a slow week in college football, right? This is a matchup with a ranked team against an unranked team. However, Boston College, quietly, is pretty good. They lost to Clemson in a very tight game, but they're also playing at home, and I think they get the upset. The ACC is always one to kind of eat themselves alive, and Boston College right now is 4-1. So
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
For the sake of just going different, because I know jack shit about either of these two teams, I'm going to go with the ranked entity. I love Jacoby Brissett. Not a big fan of Boston College's stupid uniforms. I believe that's where Matt Ryan went.
Yep.
I think he's a dork. Give me NC State.
All right. That's fair.
Sound knowledge.
Yeah. Ole Miss, Tennessee. Tennessee, another team that they're unranked, and I think they're 4-2 right now.
Yeah.
Quietly though, looking pretty good. They're playing at home, but I'm still going Ole Miss because I think, like I said last week, Lane Kiffin's on a fuck you tour right now, and I think he's gonna go in and shit kick his former team.
Yeah, so Tennessee, just so the world is aware here, did lose to Pitt. They lost to Florida. They did kick the wild shit out of Mizzou and just came off beating South Carolina. None of those teams, other than Florida, none of those teams are the caliber of Ole Miss here. And the sucky thing for Tennessee, so they go Ole Miss, and then they go Alabama, and then they go Kentucky, and then they go Georgia.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a very rough time to be a Vols fan. So, yeah, I am an Ole Miss truther here as well.
Yep. That offense is just too fucking good.
Yes, agreed.
So, all right. Don't tell my bookie. What do we got this week? We got Pitt covering against Virginia Tech. Like we said, Kenny Pickett, one of the hottest quarterbacks in the country. Talking play on the field, unnecessarily looks. I'm going Pitt covering at -1. I do think that line is ridiculous, and unless they have a very Pitt game, which happens, I'm going to go Pitt covering at -1 because I don't see them. I think this is a double-digit game. I think they win by at least 10. So I'm going Pitt there. NC State, Boston College. Like I said, I picked Boston College in the upset win here. They're 4-1 against the spread this year, 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games at home. Like I said, they're quietly pretty good, and I think they get the upset this week. even without Big Phil. Clemson versus Syracuse. I got Syracuse covering at 13.5 because Clemson literally has not covered all year. And Syracuse really, let me see, they're 5-1 against the spread this year, tied for the second best team in the nation right now. Syracuse, I'm not saying they're a great team, but they cover. So I don't think Vegas really gives Syracuse enough credit. And Clemson, literally, I went on OddsShark to look up the odds this week. The headline is Clemson looks to cover the spread for the first time all year. So, so I'm going Syracuse just by that trend. Oklahoma State, Texas, like I mentioned, Oklahoma State covering at 6.5, just because the underdog has covered for the last 4 years that these teams have played. I do think that line is kind of weird. Maybe Vegas knows something I don't. But like Oklahoma State covering at 6.5, I got to take it just because of that trend. Miami, UNC. UNC covers at -7 just because Garrett King out for the year. They're 1-6 against the spread in their last 7, and UNC is 7-1 against the spread against Miami at home. So I'm going Miami here just because I think they're gonna kick the fucking shit out of Miami. Western Kentucky versus ODU. I talked about it last week. Western Kentucky has not missed on the overall year. It's a high line, but I think they kick the shit out of ODU, and their defense is not that great. So ODU is going to put up some score, but Western Kentucky right now I think has one of the best passing offenses in the country. They scored some of the most points in the country, which is weird, but because they're not a great team. But I'm going to go the over in that game is 66.5. Kentucky, Georgia, like I said, Kentucky, that line to me is crazy. I know that Georgia has an elite defense, but Kentucky's defense is also very fucking good. And I think it's going to be just an ugly game. Kentucky is going to really get to JT Daniels, and I don't know. I don't see it being as much of a blowout as everyone thinks. Maybe I'm wrong because Georgia did kick the shit out of Arkansas too, but I do think at least Kentucky has a better defense than Arkansas. I went to the wrong thing. There we go.
Yeah, I don't hate it one bit. I mean, I think Pitt covers easily. You should take Boston College covering if you take them to win that game at a 3. I'm interested in the Q's Clemson game because I do think Clemson needs to prove that they're not a giant waste of life.
Yep.
But I do think that they've been shit. State makes sense. UNC to cover makes sense to me. Western ODU, I'm interested in just because I don't know a lick about either team other than what you tell me. So I trust you. And then I do think Kentucky covers there because they are a good team going up against Georgia, who is a good team, but a 22.5 spread for two good teams is a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, Western. It's about this time every year that you always find the teams to bet on and the weird things to bet on. Western Kentucky is that team. Like it. Coastal would be on here, but they're on a bye this week. It's Coastal covering. Liberty usually covers. I think they're 13-1 against the spread in their last 14 games. And Western Kentucky hitting the over. They're undefeated this year. So It's a high line, and I think Vegas might be catching up to them. So I was a little hesitant to put it on because that's a high score right there, but they're undefeated, so I might as well keep riding it while I can.
Love it.
All right. Max and Bronson time.
Check the bio. I fixed the game between Kentucky and Miami of Ohio.
All right, Deke. So, like we talked about last week, the MAC is some of the most electric football you will ever see.
Always is. And we're just getting into action. It's not quite November yet, so we're not going to get football on Tuesdays, but we're pretty close to it. And Barstow tweeted this out. I think it encapsulates MAC football to a T. Just an end-around flea flicker that just goes horribly wrong, and it's just the most MAC thing ever, and I fucking love it. I wish he would have yeeted it after he picked it back up.
Yeah.
So he obviously drops it here, picks it up, looks to yeet it, cradles. Dude, if he would have yeeted it, I don't care I don't know, and I don't care what's happening downfield. It's going to be a touchdown.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter where you threw it.
Yep.
That play is so Mac that it would have been a touchdown.
Well, what's crazy is it looks like he's ready for it, but he also isn't ready for it at all. It's a terrible
Not at
pitch.
all.
And, like, it almost looks like he's not ready for it at all, or else he would.
No, he had no idea that he was playing football at that moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely not. And then lock of the week from action this week. I think they're playing at noon on Saturday. So Buffalo covering at -9. Ohio is fucking terrible. Ohio is like one of the worst teams in the country outside of like maybe Akron and like
Shut
a few
up,
other
Bueno.
ones. Shut up, Bueno. Ohio is also 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. Buffalo at home 10-0-1 against the spread in their last 11. So for whatever reason, they always cover at home. That's why I'm going Ohio versus Buffalo.
Love it.
All right, that was Maction. I don't think I have anything else this week.
You want to cry again on camera or no?
I'll be crying tonight. Going to bed, going to sleep. So at least I have a week to recoup a little bit.
Yeah, you'll be okay. Just smile.
Do you know? It was fun watching the Steelers win on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
Great win.
I don't remember a time, and like when it comes to fandom, I would say it's like Penn State football, Steelers, and then like maybe Penn's Pirates.
Yeah. The Holy Trinity.
Exactly. But I have never felt less excited about a Steeler game, even though Ben looked decent.
Yeah. Is it because they look like Iowa?
Okay, let's get one thing straight here. Iowa looks
just
like the
asked a
Steelers.
question.
Let's just get one thing straight here. Iowa looks like the
God.
Steelers.
All right. Well, Penn State looks like the Dallas Cowboys.
That is not true. I don't even want to. I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. I will never jump off the bandwagon unless it was an 0-5 start like last year. So
Fair. You were off, and I don't blame you one bit.
My eyes will be glued to the TV. I will be screaming expletives at the top of my lungs.
Just know, Smalls, memories are being made right now at Penn State. Whatever the fuck that means. You need to make memories while they last, because let's make more memories. #BTB.
What do you think BTB means?
Back to business is my guess.
Beat the bench.
Oh, yeah, good luck. Do you also know him and his brother have an app for fitness?
Yep, I saw that too. He's also Sean Clifford with this whole NIL thing. He is sponsored by pretty much every state college restaurant.
Shut up.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, on a real level, I fuck with Sean Clifford.
No,
I
like,
really do fuck with Sean Clifford.
Like, I don't mind the kid like at all. I actually like he's funny. Like he's
he's a
good
human
dude.
He's not like a douche. He's a human, and
Yeah.
I think that there was a sense of like, I now look at every Penn State quarterback as Trace McSorley, no matter who they are, because I like Trace McSorley,
It's
and
hard-
he
it's
fought,
hard
and he
not
was
to.
a dog.
Yep.
Yeah, he was like, I feel like every Penn State quarterback is a guy that can't really play football the way a quarterback should, but he's like the kid that is going to give his all. And it's like, honestly, it's like if Tim Tebow was less jacked and didn't have God helping him. That's who I always think of, except not douchey either.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
just you're like, dude, that guy loves football.
Yeah.
That's every Penn State quarterback I've ever seen.
Except for Hackenberg. But except for, you realize how much everyone hated Hackenberg, right? Like,
I hated Hackenberg.
like outside of his freshman year,
Bill O'Brien hated Hackenberg.
Yeah. No, like outside of his freshman year, like his freshman year, he was phenomenal with O'Brien, and then Franklin came in and he was dog shit. He was so dog shit that, and I think it was a combination of both Hackenberg and John Donovan, the OC at the time. Both of them were just equally as bad. John Donovan, after being the OC at Penn State, ended up being an intern for the Jags the following year.
What a dork.
It, like, to the point where James Franklin, who was not a play caller in the slightest, terrible at it, was calling plays because it was better than letting John Donovan call plays. But
Or Christian Hackenberg.
that's neither here nor there.
Dumbass.
Sean Clifford, though, so there's a restaurant. I don't even know if you want to call it a fucking restaurant. There's a food establishment, I'll call it. It's called Are You Hungry, right? Literally just drunk food. Think of the drunkest sandwich, all the fried shit that you could put on a sandwich. That's their menu. Their main attraction is called the Fat Bitch.
Interesting.
He is in a partnership with Are You Hungry?
I love that for him.
Just because. Along
Good
with
for
like
him.
7 other things. Yeah, he's like McClanahan. Like literally half the downtown State College businesses, he does an NIL thing with them. It's awesome because like he drums up business and like I respect it. Like
Yeah.
like
He is State College, which is what I like about him.
yeah, exactly. He's embraced it. Which if you've ever been there, you get it. Like it's one of those places that you just can't you get it. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I just hope he comes back. I think they're gonna keep it on the DL as long as they can. Sounds based on what Franklin said, it sounds like he's coming back.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he didn't come back this season. It's just one of those things where you I don't know. It was just very ominous, and it could be taken a bunch of ways. I think he'll be back this season.
Yeah, I don't know. Deke, it's been a good one. I'm so sad.
It's been a great show.
Yeah, I don't like that you laugh at my tears, but
Keep the glasses on so no one sees.
all right, guys, this has been APB, All Purpose Garbage, College Football Show for Idiots. We will see y'all next week. Cheers. Shout out Coors. Horns
Love you,
down.
Coors.